take all my equipment away to DJ, and when I come back on Monday, I gotta make sure everything is ready for this world. Ear. All right. Yup. Looking at DXN right now. Look at it. 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 Hey, real quick before we start the show, you know what's funny, man? Google, we hating you, bro. It's the second week of February, and how dare you not keep the black magic up, you motherfuckers. So, oh yeah, this is a kid show. Just kidding. This is your boy Crypto Bruh. Viewer discretion advised. Yeah, Google, I'm mad at you. How dare you only give us one day when we got the shortest month of all months. So again, this is my channel, so we're shouting out fellow black inventors every time we go live. Every time we go live, man. All throughout Black History Month. So real quick, big ups to my guy George Robert Carterethers. He's got a special last name. God damn. What a last name. Carruthers. Oh, Carruthers. Carruthers. All right, George Robert Carruthers. Seems to be. I liked his layout here. So he was an African American inventor, physics engineer, and space scientist. He perfected the compact and very powerful ultraviolet camera spectrograph for NASA when they launched the Apollo 16 in 1972. So big ups to Robert. Looks like we lost him in 2020, but he helped get us further in space. What's up, y'all? This your boy Crypto Bruh, aka Mo World Peace DJ / producer, coming back again with another video. It is Monday, February 5th, and actually I think this is the this has to be my trip around the moon. Let's look. What I mean by that is I think today is the day where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to stream as much as I can. Let's see. Welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, make sure you like and subscribe. I've hit a wall. I can't get above 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Hilarious. Might be spitting some of the realest facts on YouTube, but cannot get past 2,000 because people don't like to learn. But here, let's see something. I think, yo, you get to see my hair transformation. That's how long I've been streaming now. You get to see me go from no hair to way too much. I like my hair right now though. It's pretty sick. Damn, they need to make it so I can condense this to be smaller, fit more on the page. What up, Mind, Body, and Crypto? What's up, Tree City West? Shout out to everybody that's watching this. Yeah, let's see, 10 months ago. 1 year ago, 1 year ago. Yeah, I think this is like, when I start standing is when I'm doing it like every single day. So let's see, let's talk about XeNFTs. When was this made? Yeah, this is when my whole setup was in a different area. Different area of the house. No comments. Oh, so January 26th. Yeah, that's when the research started to get deep. Big ups to everyone that's still here that was here before. But yeah, we're at a point now where the data is in the streams. So maybe you need to get an AI. You can run my fucking YouTube and ask the AI to pick out anything special that Crypto Bruh says about Zen. And then just maybe, just fucking maybe, you might understand this. Now, Zen right now, it's Monday. Ain't nothing really happening. Again, if you're in the space, you should be focused on mining. And we had a great weekend to mine again. Another really good, solid mining weekend on Ethereum. And yeah, ETH it's pretty stable right now. We saw this happen last year too, though. Last year, right around this time, the crypto space was dead and gas was very reasonable. Tons and tons of people made mints in Zen. And that's why we had that gigantic hurdle in June of this year. It was because of how low the gas was today, or, you know, in the moment. And we're seeing that now. So again, we're not seeing too much heavy selling on the chart, which in my opinion, again, my thesis is you only see selling when minters are selling. We've already expressed that this is a trade for like this that just happened was all trading. And now the trade is washed. So technically this is a double bottom if it were to go off. So traders are looking at this. They're trying to test the market and see how the Xenian feels, in my opinion. And again, I'm not too worried about price here, because again, price doesn't matter in Zen, because Zen is hyperinflationary. So the reality is someone can print a lot of these coins and push the price down. So you should never focus on price. You should just always be focused on entry, right? Like, where are you trying to enter? And there's going to be very bad entry moments in Zen where it's like, oh, you should have entered using mints instead of buying it, because now you've bought the top. But then there's going to be moments like this where it's the bottom. And yeah, maybe buying Zen is a smart idea instead of minting it out, because you potentially could buy what is known as the cheapest Zen possible, right? And that's kind of what I think of when I'm looking at price, or if I suggest price. I'm seeing the cheapest form of price possible on buying this stuff, because when it comes to mining this stuff, your cheapest opportunity will always be low gas and a dip in ETH, right? So right now we have the low gas, but we haven't seen that dip in ETH just yet. And what I mean by that is it'd be nice to see ETH get back down to, like, I guess, yeah, down here, $2,000, 21,000 or 2,100. that'd be a really cool zone to see ETH at. So if we could get low gas and cheap ETH, that's like making the cheapest Zen mint. That's what your forecast climate research should be based on if you're trying to max mint the shit out of Zen at the lowest blockchain quality possible. That's really what you're looking for, and potentially that could be coming up in these next couple weeks. Because again, I think we're in a this is a bull trap, in my opinion. I think in my opinion, just from watching this was the top, and we're just retracing down. And what made it pop off like this was because there was speculation that a Ethereum ETF is possible. So again, ETH, we got it on the radar. People want $19,000 Ethereum. So I would be very surprised, but I'm not going to be extremely surprised if I were to see this price. Realistically, I've always thought ETH should be around $10,000 for the activity that's happening on it. But again, it's inflating. We're talking about dollars, bro. So dollars inflate, which means what is 10,000 if my thought 2 years ago probably should be 2x. It probably should be 20,000. I probably should update my worldview to be like, oh yeah, the government's just gonna keep printing money, so I need to stop thinking stagnant in these unrealistic price areas, because it's gonna go parabolic when everybody comes into crypto. Crypto to me now, I've been doing a lot of research this week about product. Because when you think of the computer, you think of technology, like the consumer is who is the target, the user, but realistically in tech, they are consumers. So no consumers are in crypto yet. They're not here yet. We got a lot of users, people that are enthusiastic about it, happy, making gains. Again, some stealing from their neighbor. Give me that sugar. But we do not have the real retail masses, which I personally think is going to come through an app store based on one of these blockchains. Again, that's why I believe Solana's going so hard, but they're kind of topping out on all the amazing things they can do, right? What we're learning in Zen is time is on your side if it's built into the code. And if it's a model of Bitcoin, it should be just as successful. But when you start to add these hypercycle marketing strategies like Solana and the phone, you kind of waste that strategy, because now everyone's expecting the phone. Now you're just going to drag your community along with this stupid ass concept of a phone, and you're not really focused on innovating the chain anymore, which I think is the idea here. That's the longevity piece of what is this open source thing we're creating, But what's up, Sun Station? I see you threw out a gifted sub, and Mind, Body, and Crypto picked that up. USA is so close to World War III. I mean, that's for sure gonna happen though. Like, that's not even like is it gonna happen? The question is it gonna be? Is the attention of war? This is kind of deep, but like something that's playing in my head. Are people desensitized? I can't say the word right now. But I just think that there's more shit happening in the internet and like people's fucking lives right now, that like war would just bring more confusion. And it's like an unfortunate thing. Like, I think it's gonna happen just so that people are even more confused. Like, damn, now we in a war, like, but it's like, how long will it last? I don't know if it'll be like the 90s, because this is like post, we're like in the internet now. Like, this would be one of the first like things. Like, think of this, like, this is pretty political, but like on a technology scale, like, let's break it down on tech. The news is so different now than it was in like 2001, where most of your news you were getting from a newspaper, magazine, 60 Minutes, CNN. Like, it's 2024. People are getting news from all over places. People are calculating things using AI. So it's like just a whole different world that we live in. And it's, to me, if I know we're in an attention war, how long can real war steal most people's attention before they're like, like, look how much stuff like people go through in 1 year. Like, there's so much attention out there to grab. And again, I think in tech, it's dormant right now because people don't comprehend. And when it comes out, like when the attention is back on tech, most people are going to rush in because they're going to be like, I heard about this, but my attention was on WW3. You know, so it's like I'm kind of still very bullish on crypto, even though like America's doing this fuckery. And I'm very bullish on the future because I just think we're going to get bigger and better ideas faster than we've ever seen before. Yeah, but I think, yeah, you gotta be very optimistic for things like that right now. There's a lot of doom and gloom. But back to the App Store shit. This is why we got to pay attention to the blockchains that are trying to get consumer popularity. Because if it's like a Bitcoin, where it's got the longevity of let's take off this stuff. If it's like a Bitcoin, where it's gonna have a longevity play, and you don't have to focus on the network running, then you just get to sell the coin. And I guess that's the next answer in the consumer. How do you get the consumer to a crypto? Because now we know like it's way too hard to get to a Bitcoin, but that's gonna run the market. That's gonna be the backbone of the crypto market. Most people should, if they're studying cryptocurrencies, they should probably understand the Bitcoin and the way that it's built and structured down to the Nakamoto consensus, and then comprehend why Ethereum is the smart contract version of Bitcoin, right? Once you learn those two components of the crypto, I guess, fundamentals, right? Like when you think on a hardware, technical reason of how it exists, because without that, it wouldn't exist. So on that piece, like, yeah, Bitcoin's going to run forever because there's always going to be open source development that thinks about where can we build, and they're going to go to Bitcoin. And then other open source development will go to Ethereum. And then again, maybe we're like 40 years in the future and you got these ETFs where now you can go and get some like, you know, like it's really integrated. Like ETFs are integrated into like the way the chart moves, because it's like Bitcoin is now oil, Ethereum is oil, and everybody's like trying to get this shit, right? So if you learn those two fundamentals in crypto, everything else should make sense. And then you can dive into like, well, where will the App Store be that's utilizing all these other pieces, you know, or like putting it all together? And I think what X1 is bringing to this conversation, because you're going to need multiple pieces of hardware to get consumer grade technology. If we've learned this, you cannot just fork Ethereum and expect to have consumer grade technology. You can't just fork. We just literally forked Phantom, and we still didn't have enterprise technology that Fair Crypto is like saying that from their research, this is what we need, right? And as a user of the Fair Crypto ecosystem, right, someone who's, I guess you could say, adapted the philosophy, because I believe in first principles, you know what I mean? Like, big ups to Satoshi. I don't know where the fuck he is, but I do believe in the bills that now I understand it's just a sample set of GL. What the hell is that stuff? General open source. I don't know. I'm just gonna say law or pillars. That's what I should say. Yeah, there's like an open source law that's always been out there. I don't have it on hand, but you can go and try to find that shit. And basically, the open source like laws, like the general purpose use laws, is what's built into Bitcoin and why Bitcoin was able to grab so much adoption in the beginning. I think that part is left out a lot in the history of Bitcoin, that its beginning stages were open source, and that is what drove it to become something. Without it being open source and a lot of people being able to fuck with it and change it in different ways and mine it in different ways and bring new ideas to it in different ways, it could have never been, it could have never gotten to this. That's why the market share is so much more extended than an Ethereum coin, because it came after most of the open source tribes. So Like, that's why, again, I'm like, we do need an answer here. ETH is gonna be around forever though, so don't sleep on that ETF shit. That, like, whenever they say, yeah, Ethereum has an ETF, it's game time. And that's why I'm mining, or I'm keeping my DXN in DBZen. I'm gonna probably just keep it in here forever. Now it's like, yeah, you might as well just leave it in here and never touch it and just add to it. Burn some Zen, just add to it. Just leave it forever. Oh my, hey, look at that. Damn, that's the first time I've ever seen it jump up like that. So somebody must have ran the Xenon and claimed using the Xenon, and it burned some DXN. Ooh, tasty. Young says I keep fading post-chain. You want to know why? Actually, I've been doing my research on post-chain, and God told me to fade it because what a waste of time. You guys want to check it out? Let's check it out. Post-chain actually taught me a lot right now. So let's compare it. All right, let's compare. Because I was running I was trying to figure out validators yesterday. So this is what's so funny. Because like, when you really get down to it, the problem with post-chain is its validation, because it doesn't have a really strong validator, what do you call it? Structure system. Like, it's actually pretty like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wow, like, if I were to choose between running a phantom validator or a post-chain validator, I probably would still lead myself to doing the phantom one, because when you look at the requirements and the way that it's structured, and then when you get deeper, so the clients, like, this is the part where my mind was like, oh shit, I get it now, because we're building X1 chain. So like, in post-chain, you gotta download, there's 2 different clients to run a node, and then each one you have to stake 32 million posts to. So to even get started, you gotta get very extended. You're looking at possibly like $15,000 to get started, and then you're gonna be waiting for ROI. And then what you do for the ROI is you need people to use the tech. So then we go back to is anybody using it? Or what are they using it for? Are devs gonna come and build? What is the tech looking like? Right? So that's why I think, man, I'm glad I dodged this, because this is a fun way to learn. But now I would say, if you're running a post-chain validator, you might want to come over to the dark side. You might want to come over here. And it's really easy to start running a read-only node on X1 chain, because we're Linux first. There's a lot of other, like post-chain, for instance, when I was reading some of this documentation and stuff, a lot of it is still like in Linux and whatnot, but a lot of it is, how do you say, it's like, it's too cryptic. That's probably why a lot of people in post-chain don't want to be validators, because it's very hard. But when we have the X1 node, because of Jack Levin's experience with Linux, he's been able to actually articulate the setup of the node in a couple of commands. So it's pretty unique in how fast you can get set up on the X1 node. But then when you're working with like the post-chain node, it could take a while to get online. And also, it's not based on fast syncing. Like, it's not a DAG. So since it's not a DAG, you could be waiting a long time for your client to update. And then you got to run 2. You got to run an execution client, and then you got to run a consensus client. You know, that shit's built into X1 right now. You just run one land. It's coming down to like, well, because here's the special part of it all for us. And let's just talk. Oh yeah, we'll talk about how much it costs and stuff, because that's the next thing. Like Phantom, you need 50,000 Phantom, which I think is like $30-some thousand or whatever. Crazy. But yeah, so looking at like X1, Post chain. Yeah, Pulse chain has all the, that doesn't, having a lot of validators doesn't make a network fast. So that you got to remove from the picture, because that's not the right way to enunciate success. Like if I'm going to announce I got success, it's not that I have a lot of nodes, it's that I have the best gossip, because the more gossip you have is not going to make it faster. It actually slows down the process. So this is what's fun about X1 chain. We just experienced the first fork in the chain due to a bug that we found in Phantom main code, right? Because X1 is going to be a fork of Phantom, because all they did was fork ETH and put a dApp with the accounting structure. So everything is looking good. I actually do like Phantom a lot, and the bug that we discovered is just kind of more proof, like, okay, cool, I guess I am on the right path. Because if I would have started my validator, I guess comprehension, I would have been paying a lot of money to learn this shit. But right now, I'm not paying anything, and I'm at, like that again. The X1 node seems very obtainable if you're mining XNM and mining Zen. Doesn't seem like something hard to get. Maybe in 2 years, it might be stupid hard to get an X1 node, but in the first like 90 days, you know, first year, it shouldn't be too hard, especially with all the speculation in Zen, right? That's why we want a Zen dump, so we can get some more tokens for the low ski XNN or XN to the read-only node and create yield. So be a part of, you know, validation without being a validator, because it's about decentralizing the network, and it's not about adding more full validator nodes to create more gossip when no one's even making transactions. Like that's not it. But it is gonna be cool to see if people opt in just to run it. So I'm gonna, you know, that's where I'm going. I'm like, I want to be a validator and not a read-only node, because I want to see what happens next. And I think that's where you can really see what happens next. But you'll see right now, there's like 300 nodes offline. So when the fork happened, it caused everybody to change their chain data, right? Because the fork happened at a certain epoch, and what we had to do was we had to remove the chain data and start basically where the fork, like in the block before the fork. And this is something that the team wanted to test anyways, to see like if there was a crisis on the chain, how fast they would be able to, you know, answer the crisis. In this particular moment, it was a bug, so the answer is fix the bug. But it was really cool to see like everything come back online and how like that process would take place if there was like a real attack happening. Now there's like, you could almost say there's 91 people in the quorum, like in the minimal mass of nodes that can basically flip a switch, download a chain, and then get everything going back again if there were some sort of halt, which is pretty cool. I'm not to say that's like something really hard. Like something would have to fuck up, you know, like for something like that to happen. But to know that it's a decentralized network where as long as one node is still online, everyone can just like, oh yeah, so what they did so far to try to answer this bug, right? What happened with the bug was we have so many validators that people were unstaking and restaking, and that action caused the memory slot to deadlock, and then that stopped the chain from running because of the amount of unstaking happening. Something Phantom wrote into their code so that it would just, you know, make sure that things don't fuck up. Right? They only have 50 nodes online. Like they're not expecting people to be unstaking and, you know, restaking as fast as the activity was happening here. And again, it's gonna be 100,000 XN you're gonna need. So this is the testnet. This is why we have testnet. This is why you onboard all these people, so you can see what it's like if we are in that environment. And, you know, kudos again to Fair Crypto. They were able to flip the switch. Then they made, Jack Levin himself, he made a kind of like a temporary patch, I guess, where essentially if you're running the old chain data and your node is like pinging an epoch that's been identified as like bad chain data, it now kicks you offline. So now we have 300 people or whatever offline. And this, if this were a real world, all 300 would have all their XN fucking slashed. Like they would be getting their XN just like deleted, which is great for the network, because that's why if you do want to run a validator node, you're gonna want to make sure you're paying attention to the, you know, to the telegrams, to the, you know, attempts. You know, you're not gonna want to miss a beat, so that you can stay online and continue to get that yield from staking your XN tokens. It's pretty cool. Sounds like the same thing when the post-chain devs found a bug on ETH. I don't even know what their bug was, but you still couldn't compare the two, because post-chain's a fork of ETH, and that's Nakamoto consensus, so it's not gonna help the gases over there. Gas is always gonna be high over there. Over at X1 chain, you actually have an opportunity. And if, yeah, I mean, dude, there's so many plus positives. Now that I'm down to this level, why? Oh yeah, and what I learned too, shout outs to that dude. I think I know why they have all of their hella nodes. Oh, what? I thought they had more than this. Oh, this is testnet. Oh, we gotta get off this. How do I get to see the real one? Post chain. I'm not even trying to hate on it. It's just now the facts. Damn, what the fuck? See, like, this is too hard to find. Like, this is too much. You mean to tell me I went to do a Google search and I landed on a testnet fucking website? Yeah, this shit is beans. Bro, and it's expensive too. I'm like, man, actually, this is after when you really look at it under a microscope, everybody doing validators right now. That's why it's been a data center ran experience. You can't, it's too expensive, one, for the hardware, and the chance, you're chancing everything in crypto. You're gambling so hard validating some stupid ass blockchain that's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. Even the people on AVAX right now, they probably sweating bricks. But yeah, so right now it's $3,800 times 2, because you got to do 2 clients, unless somebody can clear that up. But right now you got to stake the 2 clients, which means you need 2 32s, and that's 6,000, or what is that? 774. So 7,400 to experience validation, and that's like buying the coins right now and praying to God that this shit gets adoption. Like after you learn about blockchain, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, this makes sense. Like, okay, I'm gonna get a validator. I'm gonna get the smartest computer ever. I'm gonna have the best fucking internet. I'm gonna go get the coins, and I'm gonna stake them. Now let's go find the coins I'm gonna stake. And then you go and it's like, let's do some history here. It's like, right? So let's look at Phantom. Like, if I wanted to set up a node on Phantom, I need 20,000 Phantom. Or is it 15? It's 50. My bad. Yeah, 50,000 Phantom. So that's $17,000. So if I go on Pulse Chain, which is just a layer 2 fork of Ethereum, or not a layer 2. I mean, it's really, it pretty much it should be. You're trying to adopt all of the value to what is Ethereum, you know? So it's like, you just want to be like Ethereum. But like Phantom, again, different approach to the data structure, faster blocks, more security, faster blocks. What else? I mean, anything you want when it comes to the goddamn transaction. But then you get this for 17,000 plus a smart computer, right? Where do you think the upside? Like, if you're talking to me, like, so yeah, I probably would choose Phantom because it's the smart play on everything. You know, you could do the same thing for Avalanche. Avalanche is another coin you could just go buy, get a smart computer, and stake your coins, and la-de-do. I mean, they let you rock. You just got to get the coins. That's, I think, the most centralized part of all of the blockchains right now. It's like when you really think about it, like, oh, I just got to go get the coins. But then you get the coins, and then it's like, damn, like now I'm locked the fuck in. I gotta make sure this shit makes money or something, you know? That's why it might just have a bad taste. Like validation might just be something also that's been dead in the dirt. Why can't I find AVAX? What? Nobody's trading Avalanche on Avalanche no more? Shit. Where? This is what? I'm so confused. Where's AVAX? All right, here, let's try to search. I was having this problem a couple days ago too. I was like, I can't find AVAX on Deck Screener. See, I ain't going crazy. That's wild. Why is it so hard to find Avalanche all of a sudden? Anybody know? Yeah, but yeah, we could go down the list and see what everybody's staking requirements are. Theirs is 2,000. So 69, 420. Wow, so meta. That's like the most augmented AI shit you could see in your life. If you ever needed a sign that maybe you should think in the X1, dude, they just sent the 69, 420 at you. But yeah, $70,000 to be part of the Avalanche development. That's like what? You're going to school. You're paying for a degree at $70,000. Bring this shit down. This chain sucks. Like, when it comes down to like the backbone of cryptocurrency, it's like, yeah, why the fuck would I put my money behind any of this bullshit? Like, I've been stuck on consumer grade, and now I've moved to enterprise, and I'm like, wow, it makes so much sense why people push memes so much. That's all people think they can do in crypto. They're like, oh, that's where the value comes from. And that's why, again, I'm more into this Zen thing because it seems to actually be fluid in crypto. It's like the only thing that has fluidity. Everything else is just like stag. It has no game. Like there's nothing that's like there's nothing exciting about the end game for what the fuck is coming next. Like in Zen, it's like you could always burn for X1 chain, and then X1 chain is embodying all crypto. So then that question comes up like, well, what do you want to invent? To my black inventors, what are you trying to invent? They were trying to invent, man. Niggas, I don't know, I almost used the N-word. But yeah, people were trying to stay in the same silos nowadays, you know, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're really looking at this shit, like, you can't run a Bitcoin node because the operation is over $2 million. You need $2 million. So yeah, you better buy a fucking bitmap. It's probably your only piece of land you're gonna be able to get in Bitcoin. Like, that's why I'm so when it comes to Bitcoin and ordinals, that's my full philosophy on that shit. There's no way we're gonna be able to get full node access to Bitcoin. Maybe X1 chain can introduce something where there is something for the people to be like, yeah, we still can operate Bitcoin. But technically, you can't. Unless you got $2 million to chance, right? And the government is funding that shit now. Saw that shit on 60 Minutes. That's a literal story you can go watch on 60 Minutes, man. My mind was blown. I was sitting there after a football game watching that shit like, wow. Not from a year ago though. Not 60 Minutes Australia. Aw, man, they fucking with me. I'm not gonna. Okay, maybe I have to type in minor. Aw. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so Wyoming's nation's top coal mining state. So like, there's somebody. You got to go watch this one right here. That just came out a month ago. But it's here. I'll put it in the chat. If you've never seen it, you should go watch it. But it's basically showing you how the government is funding crypto mining now. using it as a recycled resource funding. So yeah, the big brains are coming in. They're learning how to get this shit funded. They're learning how to get this shit to the masses. And if you're down here on the fucking regular person level, you might want to get in on something on the ground. And that's what X1 is. Is going to be one of the most ground level things you can get into until whatever comes out next. No substance. I have $70K left on my mortgage. Wonder if I should trade my house to get an Apex note. Bro, hey, if you got the super, all you need is the supercomputer. You need $70,000 and a quantum computer, and you can run AVAX. You can be part of Emin's team and say Avalanche or say inscriptions are bloat. If you think that that's what's going on. That's what happens in blockchain. Blockchains are mean value, the cost of the nodes go up. Yeah. That's exactly it. So that's why it's like, why would anybody want to be on a blockchain that is not going up in value? Like really, most of these are stacked. And I heard this conversation in the beginning of X1 chain, so I'm not surprised because I didn't care about layer ones. I already conquered the discovery. I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin exists. Who cares, you know? But the layer one conversation is one of the most, or that is the like money conversation in crypto. If you're talking money in crypto, you're talking layer ones. You're not talking tokens, right? Because tokens are just the tokens. I miss the old days when they used to highlight them. They would like highlight like coins and tokens. Not anymore though. Now everything is a coin. But we know what is a coin and what is a token. A coin is a native. Is the native coin, the gas. That is the coin, right? Bitcoin, the Ethereum coin, right? Binance uses the Binance chain coin, right? BNB, which is the Binance chain coin. Yeah, Hex would have, or I think Pulse Chain would have saved itself if it used Hex as the gas token. That shit is dead in the water. But yeah, back to the Zen world. I saw this tweet from Roz that was really cool. And why, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, staking in the fair environment is exactly what it should be, which is you just leave it and you come back. So I'm happy to be in very early into DXN because I think the race to stay just to be there is gonna become aggressive. Just because like think of it just like as a node or as a blockchain exploding in excitement. That's the same things that happen to dApps, and those dApps, you know, they need to focus on retaining consumers, retaining customers in the form of token. Right? This token is DXN. If you stake DXN, you stay there. You could potentially reap the rewards of people participating to get this token. And then TBA and what the hell you think DXN is. But yeah, so what he showed us here is that this is a wallet that burned one batch. So that's 2.5 million Zen worth 80 cents. And it basically made 4.1 DXN. All right, so they left this 4.1 DXN in the chamber for almost a year. We're almost there. DXN's birthday is March 22nd, so we're almost there. But what you can see here, they said that they've never claimed the ETH, nor did they stake more DXN, and they never burned again on this wallet. So after 318 days, the total ETH rewards on this one minimum batch burn was equivalent to 0.1 Ethereum. So, well, okay, they put the USD here, so $236. So they burned 83 cents, left it in the chamber for 318 days, and it's now worth $236. After all that shit we've been talking about, it's going this way, it's going that way, it's going this way, it's going that way, and then being like, you still don't really, it doesn't matter if the tech or if the system is working. And again, the thing that makes DBZen so pure is because it's connected to Zen. So the speculation is based on fair. What are the large wallets gonna do? That's most of the speculation, which creates a good, healthy market, because the larger wallets learn how to make DBZen work for them. That whole access listing, that's just a large wallet hack. But if you're a large wallet hacking the game, the fun part is it's still gonna pay rewards to people staked. It's not like they're saving on protocol fee. They're only saving on the gas to pay the protocol fee. And again, this is one button away from saying buy with access list. The thing is it's a two type transaction. So it just hasn't been developed for the public yet, in my opinion. Somebody gonna come out with it though. Public a fuck. Zen has a greater supply than Sheep. To me, that's equal value. Man, Zen's gonna get burned up. Put a short on PLS. Put a short on it. I don't know. I'm not even in the camp, dude. So I'm just speaking from an outsider looking in. Now that I'm in a node and I know what I'm doing, and now that I understand that it's nothing new, what I'm doing is what everybody's doing. That's how all blockchains are set up, especially anything that's forking ETH with the Go. That's why it's Go posts, because they forked ETH and the Go comes along with the fork. once you fork something, it's like everything has to go. Like I saw this one had Go Phantom or whatever. Yeah, right here. Or was it? No. That's the Linux pack. Yeah, see, Go Opera. Well, Go is just also because it's in Go language. It's in Go, which is a Google language, which is a derivative of C++. It's better for machine randomness. So that's why a lot of people write in Go, and ETH was written in Go. So most of it all just keeps Go. So you get fucking Go and make sure you have Go, right? So I mean, it's all the same stuff, just with a different name. Every blockchain is the same with a different name, especially if it's saying it's like Ethereum. The question after like different name is, well, what are you bringing? Like, what's your tech actually do? And the subnets, the DAGs, that's where we start to see like some innovation. But now I ask the question, is it really worth $17,000 in a supercomputer? Or is it worth $3,700 in a supercomputer? Right? I mean, Pulsechain has a great entry. You get into the blockchain for under $5,000 in a supercomputer. But my question to you then would be, do you feel like you're gambling on your hardware, or do you feel like the transactions you're confirming are gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Let's see here. How fair was Jack how fair was it while Jack in the beginning was telling people to be careful with coin tools while he was mass minting? To be honest, it was actually really good, because he prevented a lot of people from making mistakes. By keeping people on the Fair Crypto Foundation website, it allows people to explore and be curious and find those other miners. But if he would have told people to go to coin tools, then essentially that would change their project dynamic, right? Fair Crypto created a bunch of Zen tools for people that they want to use. So coin tools is not Fair Crypto, so they did not endorse it. That's all it was. They didn't say don't do it. They just told you, hey, if you go into this environment, you better learn how to function, So that theory there that Jack was mass minting or whatever, everybody had a fair opportunity to mint. And again, we've already discussed that majority of mints are not going to dominate X1 chain. The X1 chain will be more than likely dominated by the proof of work side, whereas the Zen side will be an ambiguous piece of the puzzle. One day, technically in 8 years, it will settle. The dust will settle. But until that 8-year part, until we're in December 2029, it truly isn't going to be an ambiguous coin. We don't know what it's going to do. It's hyperinflationary. Anyone can inject $1 million into Zen right now and do day mints. So realistically, again, building theory off of Zen isn't the point. Zen is a tool, and there's other tools outside of Fair Cryptos, which is coin tools. I like Zen Turbo. Actually, Zen Turbo is where I do most of mine. I just like I like how involved they are, so I'm not afraid that they're gonna leave. One thing you gotta monitor about coin tools, like they could just be like, "Yo, guys, like, I hope y'all downloaded the script so that you can, get your mints if you don't know what you're doing." And again, that's why Jack was saying use NFTs, because these will be around forever. So you might as well just do it this way if you're confident that you want to be in the system. But yeah, good try, man. Almost. Hey, let's see here. Hey, code, I turned 3 figures into 6 figures on Pulse Chain. That's why PLS says value. Okay. Why would you short PLS when it's at the bottom of its RSI? Let's see here. So why you sound like a moon boy? LOL. Yeah, I mean, Code Cluster, you just gotta see that we have a different perspective now, and a lot of people are still coming with that 2003. I'm gonna say 2003 because it's 20 years old now, boy. But we have a different perspective where people still believe that value is built only off of someone else's success. Right, like that's the issue in the mediocre side of crypto, is that not everyone believes in crazy being the beginning. Most can only believe after crazy has taken place. They go, "Oh, that person was crazy, I'm gonna follow him now." But you seem to have a different perspective where you are starting to articulate crazy and be first, right? Who cares what other people made before? Can you do it again? That's the question. And that's kind of why I like to follow Jack Levin, because he's already proven to me that he's already done it. If you don't really know about ImageShag, their main competitor was Photoshop, and I happen to be a Photoshop consumer. Office Photoshop, Photobucket, excuse me, Photobucket.com. So when I was in high school and I was making, or in middle school and high school, I was making templates from MySpace. And like, I loaded all them shits to Photobucket, and Photobucket transferred between all these different hands, and everybody deleted my data. If I would have made an ImageShag when it was right in front of my face in middle school, but something about Photobucket it was speaking to me, Maybe it was the fact that I seen that everybody's URL was tagged to Photobucket. Maybe it's because Photobucket had a login system that was just more, it spoke to me more or something, Who really knows, because I didn't take notes. But something about Photobucket caught my attention as a young consumer. And now I'm facing the consequences of not choosing the right product because I don't have my internet history. It got all removed as the company switched hands, right? Jack Levin never sold ImageShag. And it's still going hard with the Imagizer, which is like a module-based thing for enterprises to shrink photos. So basically, like if you're a coder, you know about his program because you might use it in the website to make your client happy, right? So that's why I'm focused on people who won and trying to win again. Yeah, and they don't express their wins. Like, it's not like they gotta say I won a whole bunch for people to believe them. Like, literally, it's tech, man. The code speaks for itself. But I feel you guys, again, if you haven't started minting XENblocks, you're like way behind. You might as well just start buying DXN shit. If you still haven't started mining XENblocks, you might as well just start buying DXN. That shit's gonna take off. The marketplace comes out on Friday. Well, I shouldn't say it's gonna take off. Again, I was predicting this pullback because we're still a small little itty bitty market. And again, a lot of Xenians that would have capital for a game like this, they're spending it on making XENblocks. So they're not bringing, you know, capital to this area to like pump the price or whatever, right? So this is still a great opportunity to get an DBZen. And again, it might see a little bit of a pullback as the whole market pulls back. But I think it can make its own world. And it could start doing something that people aren't even really thinking about. And again, it gets you more native. So why wouldn't you participate? Like Roz literally has the pitch deck now. He's gonna be pitching this shit all over the place. He's like, look at this, look, he's winking. Check out this dApp I made that turned 86 cents into $236 without a bull run. Like, he's gonna pitch this shit left and right. It's gonna be too easy. And again, the thing about DBZen to remember that it's technically coming into its experiences, it is almost to its happening, where it will be under 5,000 coins a month, I mean a day. So 50% of the supply is out, and then so on. You could almost think that DBZen and XNM, like, this is the future of XNM, right? That happening happens in September of next year, and then 310 million XNM is on the market, and then all of a sudden that's it. It's like, all right, now it's going to be less and less and less every year going forward, right? You got to work harder to get more. So I'm excited to see what this does, bro. I think it's just going to go dumb. What up D-Oshland? Do you earn if I rent my XN to your validator? What it does, so let me bring my validator up. When you delegate to me, I think they have it here too. So basically, you get 10%. Yeah, so I get I get a 15% on your delegated rewards. So if you delegate to my node, there's a 15% fee on delegated. And then as a delegator, you get 10% of the rewards coming to the node. So yeah, mine's is 36. My little old node, you know, 3x6. I'm gonna make a whole business off of this shit. It's gonna be pretty fun. That's why I did. It's validator 36. I don't know how I got it. I got a 3.6 in this bitch. Luck. Yeah, I'm gonna make like a cool little thing for it, and that's what's gonna be dope. Who's to say that this isn't the new social crypto board? Like, are you really in crypto? Like, were you able to get an X1 validator and like build to the next level, or did you stay like stagnant? And that's kind of why I'm very bullish on validators, because we haven't even sent the ping out yet to be like, you should really do this, right? We're still testing an environment to see what it even functions like. And we already discovered that this isn't it, so we still need to polish and prime it so it can be growable, you know? Yeah, it's gonna, like, if you say a comment like that and then I just come at you with this, you go, I hope XM has. It's like, this is something I've actively published. I can say I published it. How about that? Well, I got to use bigger words so people take it serious. Here's some infograph I've published to the Zen community that's gotten quite a bit of good feedback on how to utilize your economic energy in a environment such as X1. If you've missed this because you haven't been around, I got you, fam. So you say, I hope my XNM has value. Again, there's not many cryptos out there that actually have a fiat to crypto exchange built into the hardware, right? Proof of work. We're turning fiat into XNM using GPUs. We're transforming digital currency into digital currency. So if that's too hard to understand, I don't know how to help you. For real, like, that's basic Bitcoin shit. You turn electricity, you tokenize the electricity. That's the conversation in proof of work. Where in the planet Earth can we get the best resource? That's where we're headed to. Motherfuckers gonna be on Antarctica mining bitcoins and shit. Like, it's gonna be weird, right? Because we're tokenizing that. We're putting data centers on resource, like how they put oil refineries on the ground, right? And XNM is it's like a product of that world now. And what does XNM do that Bitcoin doesn't do? It's actually utilized to secure the X1 network, so you can swap your XNM for XN to secure the network by getting enough. Hopefully, maybe you don't get enough, maybe you don't mine enough, right? But you should be able to mine enough to swap enough to create a node to secure the network and basically bring your tokenized electricity into the X1 network, right? And you can, hodl it there. Yeah, there might be some impermanent loss. Let's talk about that, right? If it's based on a liquidity pool, then that means that if XN were to tank, then I'm losing value over here, right? So that is a possibility that could possibly happen. And that's why, again, I'm diving deep in this part, in my opinion, in blockchain. How do I harvest value and keep it close, like harness it, together? This is, again, why I'm saying Zen Crypto plays a huge role in this transformation. Because if XN does see a dip, that's coming from the Zen. So since it's coming from the Zen and I can identify it, I just buy the Zen and start to burn it for XN. So it secures my node. And then that's the battle that's always going to be taking place. And then for me, I'm just either taking my XNM and I'm transforming it into something where I can get the Zen Crypto, right? And again, this is going to have its own market. It's going to be part of the open source, the proof of work side of things. So you got Caspa over there. They got like a $12 billion market cap. I think that's like the number one stunner over there right now. Aren't they up here? Yeah, right here, Caspa. So this would be like who we're competing against in the XNM world. They're sitting heavy at 10 cents. And I think right now, or most people mine their XNM at around 4 cents. So if we were to come out the gate at 10 cents, actually everyone would be in profit. And that would, and we have a smaller amount of supply. So that's actually really good as well. 22 billion. XNM is only 610 million at most in the next 15 years. So the tokenomics are pretty banging. But yeah, man, I hope you just do some research. Once you do the research, it's undeniable. Like, it's too flexy. Too easy to flex. Do you need an ASW node to run, or can you run one yourself? You just need one that has this requirement. So you need 100,000 XNM, and then the minimum hardware. I don't really recommend doing AWS, but a lot of people probably will. I think I'm still on the decentralized tip. So for me personally, I built my computer, and I think building your computer and learning it, that's going to be cool. But I do understand maximizing validation and having multiple nodes, so you can have like multiples of validator income coming in. And that's why people are going to get excited, and they are going to put like 50 validators into the fucking eco, because they're going to want to be yielding. Let's say it's 9%, right? That's 9% on 50 nodes, so definitely ASW will provide that for you. But personally, I think you should just build, and building would be getting at least 16 cores. So you need a CPU with 16 cores. It needs to have at least 32 gigabytes of RAM. If you want to safe proof it, we're saying around 128. You're at the ceiling, you got 128, and then for terabyte, for the disk storage, you're looking at around 1 terabyte. But to safe proof yourself, you want to get 2. You get 2 terabytes, 64 GBs of RAM, and you get a 16 core processor, and you're cooking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ASW, again, that's just from multiplies. It's up to you. Their minds are too pegged to fiat. Yeah, you got to get your head off the fiat. What's the site name for the validators? Well, this is just the Explorer for the testnet. What's this right here? What up, Rolando? Does anyone have an VMPX update? Man, if you're still on VMPX and wondering about it, you should just hold it, man. Just stop thinking about it. Just get away from it. How many holders on VMPX? Damn, 25,000 wallets. Shit, that's a lot of fucking wallets. What about Zoe? How many are here? Nobody wants a Bezos node. Nah, I mean, hey, you can get the Bezos node, you know. But I have a whole thing right now. My head is like thinking, like, bro, like, that's giving away the freedom of like being able to be a node, because they're gonna be running all kinds of data shit all over them nodes. But now that I'm in the world, everything is on ASW. There's not one blockchain that's not on ASW. There ain't one. And again, that's why we're in X1 chain. We're trying to actually harness the concept of read-only nodes. So right now we don't display the number anymore, but we do want people to be able to just run the node and get yield for just running the node, right? You have validators that validate the chain, make sure everything is successful, make sure that the attacks are handled. Hey, shout out South Africa. 10 people in South Africa, go up. Yeah, validators, that's a bigger responsibility, so it should be more concentrated so we can have chain speed over responsibility. I think that's another problem in blockchain with my research as well. There's too much gossip in the channels, outside of just talking. The physical channel itself that is blockchain, that makes sure that, you know, all DAGs or all the summaries are tailored together and everybody's confirming that they see what they see. That talk, that gossip, there is too much of it. It can be limited, and you don't need a bunch of validators to speed that up. You actually just need to concentrate what is necessary to be transmitted across the network and consolidate from there. That's what's cool about X1 chain. And again, the JL mind coming from Google and the comprehension again of how do we scale so we can be giants, you know, and then keep going. Not how do we, you know, a lot of people say, how do we scale? Man, you got to think of how do you be giants and then keep going. So this is a really cool map to see, but yeah, anyone can run a read-only node. You can get that set up right now. There's not much requirements. You just need to make sure you have a terminal on a Mac, and that's here in the documents too. So you can make a read-only node and be able to run that ASAP. Yeah, maybe tomorrow when I come on stream, I'll do the read-only node live. I gotta test my environment though, make sure I can even get it to come up. That's why I run it on my PC, because on my Mac, I didn't have the technology, or I didn't have the comprehension, but I'm a lot better with Linux now, and that's what your terminal is on a Mac. RIP Steve Jobs. I'm holding a fat bag of VMPX for the 3-to-1 conversion. Maybe this isn't happening anymore. No, yeah, VMPX is gonna get a 3-to-1 conversion. So if you're holding VMPX simply to swap it, right? That's the special thing about VMPX, that if you have a huge bag of this, just remember this isn't being burnt for X1 chain. This is being swapped and locked forever into a liquidity pool for that Bitcoin to Ethereum transfer, right? So if you are sitting on a big bag of VMPX just for the swap, more power to you, because god damn, you got diamond hands. Shit, I have VMPX on the Bitcoin side, but I'm gonna probably stake it. I'm not gonna sell it or anything or burn it. That's why, again, I was like saying, how can I make my like X1 like a supernova, right? And when I look at this graph, I do feel like the GPU side is where my intrigue should be today. You know, doing that XNM, getting them super blocks, so that way I can do 2 actions in 1 action. See, with Zen Crypto, you can only burn for XN, but when the node goes live, it doesn't go to work anymore. It only works when you burn it. if you want to continue to work, you need to be part of the security layer, and that's what the proof of work is. Proof of work is the ongoing security layer that's going to allow you to stake super blocks in XNM to read-only nodes. So then that way you maybe don't even need a full node. You could just do read-only and be yielding. But we're still working on that build out. I'm sure they'll get closer and closer to explaining the strategy when we 1 second blocks or whatever the fuck. Yeah, 1 second blocks. 60 blocks in a minute, 1 second blocks. That's what it's all about. So yeah, the next thing I think too that will happen to know we're getting closer to X1 chain, when we see actually like Xen, like when Xen comes to this testnet where everyone's nodes are, and we could do a load test on hardware and see if we break the chain again based on like how many people are bringing shitty computers. Like that's the next thing that I'm waiting for is a benchmark test with the computers with real life traffic of something, right? And Xen's the perfect simulator to see that something. So if a lot of people came to testnet and just beat it up, we'd be able to see where we are with everyone running. So if that were to go well, I don't see why we couldn't go live, because there ain't gonna be no harder hitting dApp than Xen on X1. So if it can handle Xen, it can handle anything. But yeah, if you're doing the VMPX, you should be good. Also, will XeNFTs be able to convert to X1 or just liquid Xen? I don't know too much about that one. Well, again, like the team, they're not talking about Xen because they're building the chain, but they've hinted at like it's very easy to build projects where you can just where you can just burn your XenFT into the furnace. Like that's what DBXen has already developed. Like with Xenon, DBXen is already expressing different formalities of getting Xen out of a XenF, getting it out of a contract, like out of it, right? So it won't be nothing for the team to just spin up a contract where you just burn this instantly. You know, you don't even have to worry about paying a gas fee. It's just gonna burn the Xen and give you credit on the other side. Like I could even invent that shit for myself and keep it away from everybody. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's a very simple thing to build. That's not hard. But yeah, like what I'm excited for if I were to get Hopium on Xen would be the actual burn having native coin attached to it, because then that would also put a lot of buy pressure on Xen if people were actually buying Xen from Xen.network and not necessarily from Uniswap anymore. And that would freak motherfuckers out. They wake up one day and be like, what the fuck happened? Why is it going up? And it's like, oh, you can burn and buy Xen at the same time. And that burn and buy action is just pumping the price because everybody is burning their Xen and adding 2 ETH to the burn to get more XN on the other side. Boop, 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 boop. So many different ways for Xen to go parabolic, man. Well, no updates on the VMPX bridge, so I think it's not happening. Now, the VMPX bridge, okay, so you know you got to tap into Titan X. You need to follow Ben on Twitter. You're following the wrong crowd. Libre is already up and running. They had testnet and everything. What I think Libre is really waiting for is the right market conditions to just come to life. But they've been doing testnet. People are over there right now swapping BRC20s. Yeah, you need to follow this guy, Benobi. Yeah, Benobi has got the facts. And to be honest, I think that they're doing it right. I think it's not the time to act like it's the middle of a fucking bull market. Like we still got some chatter, some noise to filter out before we go north. And that's why, again, it's on the user to pay attention. So just, you want to follow Libre blockchain, which is innovating a better Bitcoin layer 2, and they have VMPX as their support system in their bridge. Now, to bring it all together back to Xen, VMPX is going to also live on the X1 servers, so that's why we're not talking about it yet, because eventually when it does come live, like when X1 is live, we'll have the smart contract technology that Libre created that now we can use to create our bridge, right? That's the partnership in the sense. But currently, there's no real reason to talk about it because it's not real yet, right? Building the chain is more important than like adding this liquidity thing. That's just gonna add more liquidity to the overall situation. But I get it, you know, it's a good thing to stay focused on. It was a part of the history. We had a really big launch about it. Definitely, if you want updates on VMPX, you want to follow Libre. Doug says, loaded heavy on DBZen. Love the daily rewards on Ethereum, BNB, Avalanche, Phantom. These are my top plays. Yeah, I mean, DBZen's still paying, and it's because it's a low entry when it really comes down to it. I'm so simped out for paying attention to price and jumping all around in DBZen. But I'm glad I learned. So I'm ready for whatever's coming out this year. That's a fact. That is the fix. What up, Earn It? Work is hard, but my note is back up, bitches. I live out in Seattle. Hello, world. Hey, what up, bro? I'm glad you got back online. I know it was a hard one. But yeah, you at least see what you learn in XENblocks is really what we're learning is like the libraries of Linux. And we're learning how to use it to our advantage to continue, I guess, compute, man. And everybody that's part of this learning curve, I think we are learning something that people paid $100,000 to learn at Stanford. And again, 7 PhDs made Phantom Chain, and it took 2 weeks and 500 nodes for the XenIfy to break it. And now Jack Levin is physically coding the repairs, physical coding, doing the work, you know? So it is a hell of a ride, and I think what you're experiencing is way more valuable than anything we're gonna get on the other side. Because we could take this and spin this, you know, everyone's getting laid off in tech. Meanwhile, I'm building blockchain. I'm not worried. The fuck? I got laid off in 22 and been moving forward ever since. Never let that shit hold me back. And I think blockchain is the next technology frontier. The next big app store is gonna come from a blockchain. Right? App stores gross more than anything. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. It just goes up. It just goes up. 85 billion, 72 billion. Special number right there for your boy. It's actually the year I quit Apple. Pretty funny. How ironic. 46. Yep. You know, and a lot of this ad revenue now is in subscriptions. Like that's probably the next thing we got to look at is like Apple inscriptions. But like that's why it's subscriptions. And I don't know about Google. Here, let's see what Google's looking like. Oh, they're slowly on. Oh, now they decline it. Oh, now it's on the reverse. So they're right behind Apple. I would say Apple just has more iCloud users, which probably adds to their revenue, right? Google isn't hardware first, so they don't have that advantage. Apple has that user advantage that like Steve Jobs put the product in the consumer's hand. Google did that after Apple. That's why again it's like, okay, you did it after, you know. And it's like, well, where is your market share? I think Google though, again, they got this part under control, and that's what Apple's lacking in. Apple doesn't have a good cloud. On a technology scale, Apple's cloud sucks. Like the only reason you use iCloud is so you can have blue text messages with your friends and maybe FaceTime. Other than that, man, if those things got replaced somehow, some way, and you didn't even know about it, you wouldn't even know about it. So Apple's literally tight-roping what they got left because thank God they have iCloud. Well, you know, if they didn't have iCloud, I don't know what the fuck they would have. But Google Cloud is pretty epic. Facebook Cloud is starting to grow, and now Facebook, now after the VR released, I feel like people are gonna look at the Meta Quest as an entry-level VR concept. And who knows what the app store is going to look like for Facebook, because maybe a lot of people move to Facebook to start developing. Facebook has their own language too and things like that. Actually, what I should be saying is Facebook has a really good database that they've created. We use it in X1 as well. So it's called the Pebble DB. So it's like the Pebble database. Really fast, robust database that was created by, again, Facebook. So Facebook, they are part of this technology play. You can't knock them out because, you know, they're weird. I mean, yeah, Facebook's kind of weird, but it's like the social tech world. Like, you know, you have Apple, which is the hardware, Google, which is the software. Now you have Facebook, which is the app, right? So what comes after that? That's my question I'm asking in tech. And yeah, I think Facebook's app store is going to go up. Like, if you're making apps right now, you might want to try to get into this whole VR thing, even though it's kind of corny. It's going to be a lot of money to be made in VR. Free game. Damn, I'm not caught up on my chats. Sorry about that. I'm just chilling today, guys. What's up, though? Funeral was last Friday. R.I.P. Oh, Rain Man said that Zen is dead. Understood. Yeah, man. Zen is dead. It's whatever you want to think it is. Struder's cat. Most people are probably looking at the RSI. Whatever. I don't think, I mean, again, the only reason you're buying Zen is to make your XN bag bigger. But if you're not trying to intensify your XN bag, then maybe don't gamble on buying Zen, because it could totally get rugged by anyone. There's only 58 ETH in here. So anyone that says to themselves, you know, I got 25 ETH worth of Zen, fuck it, you know, they just come and take it all. I think there's like one wallet that has that. Like, they're just sitting on 1 trillion Zen. Let's see if it's still there. Hey, shout outs Dank for the fizz hive. What up, Dank? America. And I'm proud to be an American. That song slaps though. Where's the trap remix? Damn, holder's still going up. My bag of DXN is pause. Yeah, man, DXN's gonna be crazy. What's up, Shizzy? Why does Zen always have symptoms? What does that mean? What does that mean? Blue text bubbles is all we need. You know what's funny? Apple installed like technology racism. We could never go back to a world of normal text messages. Never. I remember when that shit came out, I was working at the Apple store, and that was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, wow, now you can't text nobody with a green bubble. And then now we live in the reality where no, it's like you come out with a green bubble and people are like, okay, you better have the sickest Samsung ever. Like, your Samsung better be fire. Shit, you might not even get text back. Granted, you meet somebody and you give them your phone number and it's green bubble on the other side. Popped. Sorry. I would say the same, unless it's some really tech motherfucker. If you really tech, then I'd be like, okay. You're just a tech motherfucker. You got an Android. You gotta be different. Yeah, so this account right here. Now, I don't think this account's gonna dump their Zen, but I'm keeping my eye on it because it just transferred $1 trillion in here, and it's just sitting now at the top. And it's one of the biggest non-branded wallets on the holders list right now. So I'm just keeping my eye on that one. Everything else has a brand to it. You know, I don't know who this is. 8848 Chinese letters. Big ups though. How they get theirs in? Are they buying it? Damn, up to 73 ETH worth of Zen. Oh, they're mining it. Woo! Boy. See, if it wasn't for XNM, I would have to turn off this shit right now. I'd be like, oh my God, how can I compete with this? Because this right here, man, I mean, you're going to need to invest a lot in the Zen in the background to even get it up to that, right? I mean, You can look on Zen Turbo. Zen Turbo tells you that there's a lot of invested ETH in Zen, like over 50,000 ETH has been invested into Zen using gas. So seeing these big ass numbers now, it doesn't really surprise me. My question is that a value transfer? Right? Like are we really getting ready to experience this value transfer where somebody goes, I put 73 ETH into X1. I better get back 146 ETH. Like, if that's the value transfer that's about to happen right now, it's gonna surprise a lot of people. And again, that's why, again, if you're really trying to get a solid position in Zen, of course, buy it right now. Why not? If that's what you believe in. Again, personally, I'm gonna put it in XNM in mint, max mint. I'd rather be the only person claiming than be the only person buying. Straight up. Yeah, shit tapers off after up here though. You see, we go half a billion, and then it gets really bad after that. So most people are holding Zen in this like 100K range, but even then, it's not even that many heads, right? It's like majority of the Zenians are way the fuck back here. So don't nobody really got Zen, bro. Like that shit doesn't. And that's what I mean. It's either all gas or all of these wallets right here are people who just believe and they're like, yeah, we're burning our Zen directly into X1 chain, right? So that's good though. That's really, really good. I'm ready to see what happens next, bro. There was a time where this whole thing was like full of Zen trolls, so it's kind of cool to see it with a bunch of random ass wallets now. Dank with the mushrooms. Jack needs to make a statement about chain on every chain being converted. This is good because chains like Moonbeam, Zen, and AVAX Zen are dead otherwise. Jack's always said every chain is accepted. That's why, at least for me, I've always promoted Ethereum because I don't want people to be out there on a dead chain, right? All Zen chains are going to die. The only way they're going to come up again is when people find out that they can use those coins to make more XN. That might take like a year from now, like everybody realizes it, or maybe it happens really fast if people can get the word out. But yeah, Jack has said it because again, it's an 80-20 split. So even if you're mining on a subchain, it's technically you're fighting for 20% of an 80% split. So like if there's like, let's say there's 100 XN tokens, 80 are going to the ETH burner top burners, and then 20 are going to top burners of all chains, right? So it's in my opinion not too smart to think that Zen on another chain outside of ETH is gonna get you enough XN to make some damage, right? You need to burn a lot. You're gonna have to burn like thousands of dollars. So hopefully, I mean, if you're doing thousands of dollars, you should be pretty all right. But if you're doing like 100 here, 100 here on every chain, you might be kind of surprised that you don't have that many XN on the other side, which is fine, right? Zen's burnable forever, and it teaches you like, hey, now I need to mint all the way out, maximize my minting so that one day I'll be able to burn a ton of Zen to actually see that reward. Should be a cool time. Look at Zen's desire. Tad Ape, what up, bro? What's the drama with the X1 nodes? Did they solve it? Yeah, we already solved that one. Oh, Rain Man is Cleo. Free attention. What's your views on Gari? That doesn't sound like something cool. I don't talk about everything. What up, Deoshlan says win membership stream. We're cooking it. It's probably gonna come soon, like really soon. Cause yeah, now I'm just kind of getting stagnant on the YouTube, so I might as well, for anybody that believes in X1 chain, keep the secrets. We'll keep the secrets in the member stream. My member stream though will be cheap. I'll probably still have like a hardcore stream for people who pay $10, but I'll probably do members only streams for like, I think right now the membership's like $2. Yeah, maybe we'll inflate with the months. That's how we'll do a fair launch of becoming a member on the Brush Show. every month I'm gonna raise the membership by 0.5%. Something stupid. Fair entry for those that come early. What up, Damien? What it do? Dang, I'm focused on how to utilize the architecture as designed. Ooh, that's the only way to do it, man. So what will you do with Zen on all chains? Burn it. I burn all the Zen on the other chains. I don't even think about holding that shit. Actually, I burned so much Zen. I burned all my ETH Zen and said, damn, I don't have any ETH Zen to do AI no more. That was a pretty funny one. I was like, damn, I really burned all my Zen. So there is going to be that. That's why it's like I've already had multiple times where I've said I've accidentally burned too much Zen. But yeah, the best place to burn, or this is what else you could do. Here's another free game. Use Xenify to consolidate all your Zen back to ETH. And that's why, again, I'm maybe one day all the Zen tokens actually hit a bottom from everybody selling Zen. Well, there's still okay. Let's rewind this because I don't want to just make it sound dead ended, because there's not a dead end here. Technically, someone could create an app that burns Zen so it doesn't sell. Right now, the best way to get the best value would be consolidating Zen back to ETH and using like a Xenify to sell your Zen cross-chain into an ETH purchase for Zen on ETH. But again, that hurts the price of the chain you're coming from, which essentially would mean that that's why there would be a natural bottom that would occur amongst all chains, because I'm sure people are going to be doing that, consolidating back to ETH because the burn is worth more than on Moonbeam. Right, so I mean, I don't know, man. And then maybe that's what happens. Maybe it just halts. Like maybe there's just like a halt, or it could be like a thing. If you're really into liquidity sharing or liquidity pools, maybe this is your opportunity to build like crazy bottoms and just get all the trading fees from people trying to game the system. But yeah, I don't think keeping your attention here is that important. I would say like to my Pulsicans, because they got the best one going. Everybody's over here on Pulse Chain. So for the Pulse Chain one, this is kind of a representation of Zen taking on its own life, as it should. It's an open source project for anyone to own. So if there's a group of 50 to 100 people on Pulse Chain that believe in Zen, they have the right to mint this shit, print this shit, and move this shit. So yeah, Pulse Chain I think is going to lead the way of setting the example of what it is to be a subchain. And like, who's to say that this one isn't the one holding all the value? And maybe that's what happens. Maybe people are extracting value from a different chain in the Pulse chain. To me, that sounds fucking crazy. But again, users are definitely different than the developers. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I wouldn't be surprised one day to just be like, damn, somebody made a ramp to X1 through all this shit to Pulse chain to X1 to like grab all the liquidity from all the subchains, because they were like, yeah, fuck Avalanche, you know, come to Pulse chain. But eventually, I mean, that's exactly what could happen. And then it'd be a mini Zen chain over there, I guess. But bruh, let's have a thought experiment. If people burn a lot of Zen and almost all liquidity on ETH, for people to get into X1, they probably will have to use the smaller chains. And eventually the smaller chains will have their time to shine. What's up, Damien? Yeah, I mean, I think that too, though. That's why I'm saying I feel like that one day there could be a flat bottom for all of the other Zens, and then they take off. But it'll be like discovering a package. Like the mainstream won't know about these Zens. They'll know they exist, but again, the impact won't be so violent that they might not know they exist. Right? They might not care for it. They might be like, Zen's on Phantom, why? You know, Zen's on Matic, why? Like, why wouldn't you get Zen on Zen, you know? Then there's the whole history lesson of why they came out, their rails to X1 chain. You know, they're community driven, they're 400 lines of code. You know, so it's always going to have that open source beginning, and it can always be found. It's almost like too, like you could save a change with Zen. You know, a lot of people are on base, and you got a good, you know, team, and maybe you got into blockchain development. Maybe you started making Web3 things, and you're like, hey, I mean, I'm on X1 chain, but I see there's an opportunity to grab some base clients. So let's go and create with Zen on base and make some noise. Let's go rattle some cages. You know, let's go to Matic and make some noise. So that's kind of what's like plays in my head that I hope we can get to, but that takes a lot of development. I think characteristics of the user, they have to kind of develop those patterns of seeing this as a tool. But we're not delivering it in that manner. We're really driving home that you should be on Ethereum. Like, if you're not on ETH, you're kind of like wasting time. Bro, are you already all burned your Zen ETH? Pretty much. I mean, but I have all my mints coming in February. My bad, next month in March. That's when I'm getting boogie. I'm gonna burn all my shit though, probably. Or actually, I don't know yet. That's why I made the supernova breakdown, because for me, I'm gonna have all this Zen, but now I got all this XNM. So maybe I'll keep it in my wallet and stake it and burn some of it and just keep it. So like, it's like I harvest Zen to kind of be a backbone to keep growing my node. Like just like, you know, just stake it and just keep getting more until I can't, you know, until I wring it out all the way, and then I'm forced to only mine, or, you know, I'm forced, or something else happens. And I think by that time, in 8 years from now, I mean, this could be a whole different thing. There could be tons of data centers that run X1 node. And all this stuff is just expensive because it's like one piece of it could potentially start a data center. Who knows? Yeah, I'm burning all that shit. Fire emoji. Fuck yeah, I bought like 60 Centurions at 60 cents on Pulse. Damn, that's crazy. No, wreck the Stark. What's Starked? Oh, the wreck is expected. I sold my Zen ETH for VMPX. Dang. You can get it back though. I mean, because you thought that the VMPX is going to give you more XN tokens. So that makes a lot of sense. That wasn't a bad move. I just think nowadays you should just, sit in that and probably just keep sitting in VMPX and wait for the whole picture to play out. Bro, that's nice. I think I found my wallet in this list. Ooh, what's the list? Oh wait, you're talking about the Zen list? Huh. Yoshiland said he's stacked. I'm always mining, says Dink. Please lower your music during the stream. Nah, man, we bump it. You gotta turn it up all the way, Royal. No, I'm just kidding. Today, I won't lie, it is a little bit louder than it usually is. Big ups to you, though. You must have been listening the whole time. How about this? Today's stream was pretty cryptic, and we needed to keep some of it under the wraps. Only for the real ones that stayed around. My bad, y'all. Somebody should have said something earlier. Big ups to you guys, like said it like right when I'm about to sign off. My bad. My bad. But yeah, man. This your boy Crypto, bruh. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours, but we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same everything. Talking crypto. Getting, or FUD busting X1 chain now. I had the music up the whole damn time. But tomorrow will be a little different. We'll probably still be the same thing. And yeah, I don't know, man. Stay up, be real, be trill, bees out.
Astronaut.